Spoilers of the Damned.
And welcome to Spoilers of the Damned podcast, episode number 9?
Yeah.
Yes, episode number 9. And we are talking about the 2009 movie Triangle. So this is your one and only spoiler warning up front that we're going to spoil the heck out of Triangle.
I'm going to crack it wide open and eat its brains.
Brains! I think.
Spoilers, dudes. It's got 3 sides.
Oh my God, get rid of the whole movie. I think there's no way you can discuss something like this without ruining it completely or spoiling anything in it.
Yeah,
it's just
definitely.
impossible. But yeah. So let's get into it then. I guess I'll run away with this.
But before, of course, we touch on that, how have you guys been? How's your week been? Anything horrific happened? Again, asterisk apart from all those murders.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Obviously.
I did what I usually do when I rewatch a film that I really love, like Return of the Living Dead. I ended up looking up into it, and something I should have mentioned last week was there's a full documentary up on YouTube.
Really?
If you're interested, it's called. What is it called?
I am very interested.
What is the documentary called? I think it is Revisiting the Return of the Living Dead, I do believe is what it's called. It's about 2 hours, but it's got returning cast members. They got the production crew, behind the scenes footage.
Wow!
Oh man, and it's good if you fancy giving it a watch. Give it a watch. It's called More Brains: A Return to the Living Dead. That's what it's called.
Send more brains.
And they've got James Caron, who played Frank. He's interviewed and spoken to on it. So it's if you really liked the first movie, give it a watch. I also, out of curiosity, looked up details on the 2 newer ones that they made, and realised that I never need to watch them ever in my entire life. Apparently
that bad.
Apparently the tar man's in one of them, and
What?
he's trying to hitchhike because it's funny because he's a zombie and
Oh,
he's trying to
really?
hitchhike.
That's ridiculous. The Tire Man had his head removed.
Yeah.
Is his head still removed at least?
No, it's like a different one. I think it's just from a different trioxin. That would be pretty good if he's just like carrying it on like the head swordsman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks shit, and I never need to watch it, and it made me sad. So
That reminds me of
That
reminds me of American Psycho, which is one of my favorite movies.
Oh wow! Oh god, yeah. How random. That yeah.
Well,
I'll let you
I've
talk
never
about it.
seen American Psycho.
what's
good.
that? Who hasn't seen it?
Nope.
Tom's never seen it.
Anyway,
It's got Christian Bale in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That bad?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. It's fine if you haven't seen it. It seems like an obscure kind of movie. I just picked it up because I happened to work at a movie rental place, and I was running out of things. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch this. And then I was like, oh my fucking God, right? The thing is, and this is a spoiler warning, I guess, but it's been out long enough, so, fuck you.
I know what you're going to say.
I put my fingers in my ears. It's
The
fine.
American Psycho 2. They made an American Psycho 2, right? And the tagline, or not tagline, but the summary on the back basically says that one of Patrick Bateman's survivors goes on and does the same things that Patrick Bateman, who was the American Psycho in the first movie, was doing. And so she's killing people, right? Well, guess what? Again, spoiler alert, just like cut ahead like 10 seconds. Patrick Bateman didn't kill anyone in American Psycho 1. It was all in his head.
What?
That's the big implication at the end, isn't it? That it's like it might.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing at the end. Some people think he still did, others don't think he ever did. But it's awesome.
It's not
really
a
cool.
huge thing. Like when you watch the movie, you're still watching the movie for the movie. But at the very end, he admits to his lawyer that he killed a bunch of people, and the lawyer's like, "Dude, I met all of them last week. It's fine." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then it goes to credits. I'm sorry I just spoiled it to you, Tom, but I mean,
No, that's all right.
Yeah, you've had plenty
Honestly,
of time to
I'll
watch
have forgotten 99% of this when I actually do get around to watching it.
Yes, I mean the meat and the bones of the movie is still very much there and totally worth watching. But when I saw that summary on the back of American Psycho 2, I was like, "Fuck this fucking movie! How dare they do this kind of shit? Did they not watch the first movie?"
It sounds like a kind of a Highlander 2 situation, which I know will
is.
instantly get Matt
It really is.
riled up.
It also stars Mia Kunis and William Shatner.
Okay, I have to see this.
Wait, in American Psycho 2 or Highlander 2?
Yes. American
What?
Psycho 2.
Oh my god. Now I do kind of have to see it.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that it's hinted that she's possessed by Patrick Bateman. In the second one. Like, sounds like the best movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. And the tagline is angry, deadlier, sexier.
Ooh.
It depends on who you ask. Some women are attracted to.
I don't know. William
Christian
Shatner's
Bale.
pretty sexy.
He's pretty good to be. I mean, that toupee. I mean,
He can sell it, am I right? Or should I say, he can sell it?
I can sell it.
Yeah, William Shatner's in there.
Yep.
And Mila Kunis.
Yeah, it's. I love it when they make.
She studied
random sequels.
sculpture at St. Martin's College. That's where I first caught her eye.
God, it's so. It's beautiful. It's
Oh, they have a different actor playing Patrick Bateman. That's fun. That's fun. That's like the better sequel when they can't get the original actor on board.
Yeah. And he
At
hasn't
that
even got
point,
a
you
Wikipedia
just
page.
do not involve the character. But nope, recast, of course.
It's cheaper. He's not coming back from this piece of shit.
Oh, wow. The director is Morgan J. Freeman.
Yeah. Not that Morgan Freeman.
Not that one.
That's an unfortunate. What else did he direct? He directed such classics as Hurricane Streets, Desert Blue, Piggy Banks, Just Like the Sun, and Homecoming. I imagine
Spider-Man
at least
Homecoming.
one of those is a softcore pornography. I'm going to go with Desert Blue. Desert Blue, their survey says. Oh, it's not. It's an American comedy drama starring Brendan Sexton III, Kate Hudson.
I swear I've heard that name before.
Brendan Sexton III. That's a wicked name.
Yeah, because that's kind of...
That's a good name.
If you've heard that before, you'd know.
God damn it. I was hoping that would be the softcore one. Fuck. Oh, I give up.
You're falling down the IMDb tunnel.
I am. Help me. Make me stop. Make the.
Mila Kunis is actually married to Ashton Kutcher? I didn't know that.
Gotta
That was
load it
back
up.
in 2015. Wasn't he also married to, at some time,
He was married to Demi Moore, I think.
Demi Moore,
Married to
yeah. Who was like 20 years older than him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hollywood's weird.
Yeah, see, the thing about those situations is that once the younger one eventually grows up and realizes, holy shit, I have my whole life ahead of me. She doesn't. I need to go be with somebody else.
Now
That's
I
when
can
those
get the
things
young
fall
one.
apart.
Well, no, he turned around 10 years into their marriage and said, punked.
Oh, and then he
Oh,
died.
poor Demi Moore. That would suck. What, really? Really? 10 years for this? And he's like, wasn't it awesome?
It's great, right? Best practical joke ever.
And she's like, Ashton, the MTV cameras left about 2 years into the marriage.
And he just breaks down crying.
I just wanted it out. I just wanted it out.
Oh,
Wow.
Ashton Kutcher. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I don't know, there's something about his face I just want to just hit repeatedly.
Yeah, like with your
It's
mouth,
like-
right?
Hey, it's like James Franco. I like James Franco. I like him as an actor, and I think he's a cool guy. I want to punch his face.
He's got a kind of a smug look to
I wanna
himself, doesn't he?
I want to punch his face.
He was well. Speaking of James Franco, actually, the thing that I've been really interested about this week, James Franco. The link for people who don't know is he was in 11/22/63, which was a Stephen King book, essentially about the JFK assassination, and about a guy who is sent back in time by his friend to try and fix it, and it's a really good book. It's fairly good TV show. They adapted it fairly well. But the thing I was getting excited about this week is that The Mist is getting a TV show.
Oh, yes.
The trailer dropped this week, and it looks, I'm going to use the word okay.
Yeah, it looks promising.
It's based in the same area and at the same time as the movie, but most importantly, it's not really featuring any of the movie's main characters, at least as far as I'm aware at this point.
No, it doesn't.
Which I
like
think
it.
is the right decision.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a TV show of a very sort of fairly well received adaptation, you need to go in a completely different direction.
Yeah, it looks.
And
Sorry.
yeah, it does look good. I just hope it doesn't evolve. I just hope it doesn't devolve into kind of like poor fan fiction.
It's
Yeah,
what it's going to
which-
have to be, though, because we already know how The Mist ends.
Yeah, I mean, it looks from the trailer they dropped. It looks like it's gonna it's got obviously lots more characters next to the TV show, but it looks like it's going to be they're all in different locations.
Yeah,
Which-
and we're going to kind of cut between, and perhaps eventually characters will find a way to move from location to location.
Yeah, as long as the spiders are in it again, then I'm happy. 'Cause
Yeah.
even though I'm terrified of spiders, those spiders in that were fucking cool.
I need to double check, but I'm not sure if this is officially an adaptation sort of in the same universe as the movie, or if it's an adaptation of the novella into a TV series, because the novella doesn't have an ending like the movie does. So
I see.
it'd be interesting to see what happens.
The short story ends a lot differently, doesn't it?
It's very, very different.
Very
It's kind of hopeful. It's kind of upbeat. Like
It's open.
as far as I'm aware, because I mean, obviously Stephen King was a major influence on some of the people in Team Silent when they made Silent Hill, and those notebooks that you used to save in Silent Hill 1.
Yes, that's what I
I
thought.
remember sort of hearing that it's kind of, they based that on The Mist, where the whole Mist is basically written as like this guy writing it on a pad going, we're leaving this place now, we're kind of hopeful, we're going to go out into the mist and we're going to find other people, and here it is, signed my name, end.
Yeah.
Kind of like a eyewitness account.
Yeah, it's like like in Silent Hill when he's like, I'm going to write this down just in case it's useful to someone in the future. I mean, it's a cool concept. It's a cool way of explaining the save mechanic, but it's also I'd love to read what Harry's writing down. Day 1, had a dream. I went into an alleyway and then got stabbed by children. Woke up on a bench in a cafeteria with a cop who gave me her gun. Have to find Cheryl.
Later that
find
afternoon,
now.
I went into a school and shot several ghost children at point blank range.
And then I did a thing into the bell tower, and it changed the school to Nightmare with steel grating. Help me, scared now, please. Cheryl, she phoned me, not sure where she is. Harry.
That's awesome. I like to think he puts down like, where's Cheryl, and like bold ink lines like, where's the mower in a Resident Evil 7. Like, where's Cheryl?
You know, like at the end of the game when you go to nowhere, which is like one of my favourite things in the Silent Hill series, when it's just like everything's just collapsing, and just because our memory's so fucked, it's like all meshed together. What were his notes like then? Just
Where the beep am I?
What is this place?
I mean, I don't know why I'm writing this, because there's no one who's going to find my ass.
Why am I doing this to myself? Dr. Kaufman's a bastard.
Yeah, right.
Smiley
I
face.
shot him and he did not die. That did happen, right? He did shoot Dr. Kaufman the first time he saw him.
No, Kaufman shoots at him and somehow misses.
Yeah.
He's like 4 feet away.
Yeah, it looks like it hit anyway.
Yeah, and he's
Whatever.
like, bang, bang. And he's like, the fuck you doing? He's like, oh, you're not a monster. You think?
I am now. Come here. I will show
Lead
you.
pipe. Lead pipe, don't fail me now.
Blood for the blood god. Oh, that'd be so great if Harry Mason just like goes fucking ballistic.
We've got to go through his games at some point. That's got to
Yeah.
be something.
But I mean, getting back to it, it is a good time to be a Stephen King fan. There are 2 new It movies coming. First one this year.
Yep.
And the second part, I'm not sure when if it's going to be the year after or not. But
don't think they've
they're kind of
announced
it's partner piece, so one complements the other.
Yes.
There's going to be a Castle Rock series sort of based on characters and events in that sort of fictional town from Stephen King books. And that's being helmed by J.J. Abrams, who also incidentally did 11/22/63. So there's the Dark Tower movie, which honestly looks like a big pile of shit.
It's finally happening after all these years, and I think maybe people are going to realise they actually didn't want it.
Yeah. Oh no. No. We didn't mean like this.
Not like this. What was it? What's that line in Prometheus? It's like, we were wrong. We were so wrong.
Say
the
wrong.
problem is I live my life in Jontron quotes in my head all the time. Jontron is saying something to me, and it's like there's the clip from his Final Fantasy 13 episode where he's mouthing the words "God has come to reap the sinners" while there's like fire on the screen.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I actually like Final Fantasy 13 through that guy.
Yeah. It's
Clip, clop,
and that clip of where he's singing, from the Nuts and Bolts episode,
clop.
where he goes, and I will always, holy shit,
Shit!
will always love you. I can't believe you did this to me. Oh my god.
Have you ever played Nuts and Bolts?
No.
Yes.
It's you know what? It's like everyone has already said. If that didn't have the Banjo-Kazooie name slapped on it, pretty good.
No, it's rare going, we've made this cool little car building game, and Microsoft going, well, that won't sell anything.
Yeah.
Put Banjo-Kazooie on it.
Okay, and then, but unfortunately they went, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not Banjo-Kazooie at all. It's not terrible. It's just not, it's nothing like Banjo-Kazooie. Kazooie's completely pointless in the whole game. And she's badass in everything else.
Yeah.
Kazooie, my spirit animal. She hates everyone. Sorry, I got full of track there. That's what happens.
Off track. Isn't Nuts and Bolts a racing game?
Hey.
Hey.
You can make vehicles. Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's not what I bought this for.
Yeah,
I want to go collect fruit or some shit. Whatever you do in Banjo-Kazooie.
I want to
Yep.
do that.
Yep, you can collect fruit and jigsaws and feathers and eggs.
Jeez.
Yeah.
See, that's what I don't really understand, and I guess you guys liked Banjo-Kazooie a lot. Like, when I played Mario 64, it wasn't really about getting the coins. That was, like, the tedious part. It was mostly just having a good time in the sandbox, puzzle thing that they've made. But I keep hearing that Banjo-Kazooie is a spiritual successor to Mario 64.
It's a rip-off, yeah.
A rip-off?
It's like,
Yeah.
It kind of is. It's like, here's the hub world. It's basically the castle. It's not the castle. Shut up.
Yeah. But then I've heard people talk about Banjo-Kazooie as a collectathon, and I started realizing that these 3D platformer games like Banjo-Kazooie, Vex, Spyro, they're all collectathons, right? Like you just go get 100 of one thing, or you go find one blue version of this thing, or something like that. And I just like, is that fun?
It can be.
Yeah, it's very. I think as a lot of game developers have found, it's a very tricky thing to get right.
Yeah. Like, that's why I feel like Mario got it right, Mario 64, mostly because you don't have to get the coins, unless you want to get all 120 stars. But if you want to get all 120 stars, then you're obviously committed to collecting everything in the game.
Yeah.
So there you go. And 100 coins, you don't have to find 100 individual coins that have been hand-placed. You can get them from killing the Goombas, you can get them from smashing shells, you can get them from doing other things besides finding the floating coins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, it's just
fair,
running around and having a good time.
To be fair to Banjo-Kazooie, you don't need everything to get through the game. You can kind of there are sort of arbitrary gating where you have to have a certain number of things, but it's nowhere near the maximum amount of things that you could have got at that point. So it's never 100% completion. It's never the it is the absolute goal, but it's not the requirement for getting your very first ending, basically.
Yeah.
Like, one of my problems with these kinds of games is, like, when you jump out of a cannon, or get shot out of a cannon, I should say, and you jump, like, you're flying through, like, a ring of coins, bananas, rings, whatever you want to get at the time, and you miss one. And you need to get 100. You go back to that cannon and aim it more at that one ring, coin, banana, fruit, whatever you missed. Oh, that's tedious. I don't like that at all.
I've been playing ukulele this week. This will date the podcast. Ukulele just very recently came out. And in the casino level, there's a big water fountain. And it shoots you out the top. And you can collect its quills in this game. So it's sort of like feathered quills. And there's no way you can get them all at once. I, in fact, only got one at once, so I had to swim all the way back down to the bottom of this fountain just to get shot up in the air again. And the problem is the camera perspective changes when that happens, so all of the controls are off because you're used to be, moving in 3D space, and they kind of become 2.5D, and so you end up missing the quills, swim down again. Yeah.
Yeah,
tedious.
then you just start looking at knives. Like, maybe I should just start cutting myself. This sucks.
That's you just explained it, and that's annoyed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of it takes those kind of games take advantage of my sort of nature when it comes to I like to see 100 out of 100, so I'm gonna go collect those things. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's fine if you're motivated to do it. I'm not motivated to do it. Like, I'm still playing through Twilight Princess. I have 3 of the 4 Twilight Mirror pieces, and I have that little disc thing that you can slide around on and grind against walls with if you have the tracks.
Oh, yeah, the spinny top thing.
Yeah, I like it. I liked it a lot in the dungeon. I like using it in the world when I can find it. I'm like, oh, I can use this here. But there's this track near the Elden Bridge, like on the path towards the other side, if you don't have it fixed. There's like stone walls, and you can use it to ride up and then hop from the right wall to the left wall to the right wall to who knows where it goes, because I couldn't fucking finish it, because the way the camera works is the camera's right behind Link. If you move the camera to the left to see Link and know when you can learn to jump, well, then you can't see the wall you're aiming at because you're looking at Link on the right wall. You can't see the left wall. So you have to land at the track. And if you miss the track, you just bounce off the wall and you go sliding down the hill and you got to do it all over again. I did this a dozen times. And I had varying degrees of success. But I ultimately just said, know what? I don't care what's over there. Because I can't see where I need to go. And that's a game flaw. And I'm not going to let that shit take advantage of me anymore.
No. I think the Zelda games, they've for years now have been absolutely plagued with horrible camera issues.
Yeah.
I mean, even I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild with my friend recently, because I haven't finished it because we only play it together, so I have to wait until he's available to come around. We've been playing a lot of that, and even then, like, because you can control the camera with the right analog stick, even then it's just in the smaller environments, it's not good. The camera's shit.
Yeah,
and it always has been shit in Zelda games.
Even Ukulele suffers from some camera issues. Mainly the camera getting stuck on stuff. You know, in most of these games, the reason why they make the camera a solid object is because they don't want you to clip through things so that you can see behind the walls or whatever.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when you get into a tight confined space, the camera can also get kind of stuck on stuff and confused as to what the orientation is. And I mean, it is a kind of a hangover from those older games, and to be fair to Ukulele, it never promised to be anything other than a kind of throwback to those kind of games. But it's still it's still frustrating. Yeah. Even to, I'm quite happy to overlook a lot of the problems with Ukulele, and even I must admit, if I'm being honest with myself, it's been a bit of a bugbear while playing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to wait for it to finally come out on the Switch, just because then I've got another game for the Switch. Because
it would be good on the Switch. You could kind of pick it up, play a bit, and
I think
kind of take it on the go.
I think at the moment my favourite games on the Switch are Zelda: The Breath of the Wild, Master Blaster Zero.
That's the end of that sentence, Matt.
And then
that's the only game on the Nintendo Switch.
My other favourite is followed by, and then especially, they're my favourite. They're all the 3 games they've got are brilliant. One thing that I thought maybe I'd get used to in Breath of the Wild that has actually only continued to just piss me off is I don't know why any game developer thinks that, hey, how about we have weapons that can break?
Yeah.
and I don't mean like in Fallout where it's like, this is damage you can repair it. I mean it breaks and it just explodes into nothing. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, I've been watching I listened to the Podquisition with Jim Sterling and Laura Kate on that podcast. She's been playing it, and because I really can't afford to get a Switch at the moment, and you know, I would really, really like to buy the Breath of the Wild machine, but I can't.
It's a good game. It is good.
She uploads consistently every day in HD, so you know that was the quickest, easiest place to go to watch. And I'm forgetting the actual point that I was trying to make.
Destructible weapons. Yeah.
Now she made a defense of the destructible weapons in this game, and the whole time I was just sort of. She tried to make out that it's kind of like it's a good thing. It means you use varied weapons. Yeah, I've seen her literally collect weapons of the same type over and over again and use those weapons over and over again. Yeah. So you know,
this is what works. Like you can get double-handed swords. Oh, guess what? When you have a two-handed weapon, you can't fucking block.
Yeah.
So it's useless unless you're going to hop out the way of everything. Some things you can't hop out the way of because it's so fucking big. But my other problem with it is that if it's just like a rusty sword, or when you pick up the moblin clubs, which is like stitched together with rope and wood, that's fine. When I have a weapon in my possession called a knight's broadsword, it should not explode and shatter after I kill 4 enemies, because I don't know if they realised, but weapons that were made for soldiers were built to be basic but to last, because
Yes.
you don't want your weapon to explode when you're on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if I don't mind it in games sometimes like Fallout or Skyrim or other RPGs when your weapon's durability is low, you need to repair it. Like The Witcher, I fucking love The Witcher 3, and you had to repair your kit. It was annoying, but it made you want to do Witcher contracts, which were fun because you got money to repair stuff and buy stuff. It's fine. It didn't break indefinitely, so you could never use it again. Because what you end up when you have a game that does that, it's what me and my friend realised we were doing. We were getting like a flame sword, a flame broadsword, wow, a flame spear, a ice sword. And like what you do is you never use them.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
Yeah.
I might need these. I might need these against the boss. I might need them
And
against that.
Yeah.
Also, because they're so disposable, what I've been getting from her playthrough as I watch it is that there's an awful lot of inventory management, just consistently going into your inventory to
Yes.
either work out which weapon you want to throw away to pick up the one you've just found,
Yeah.
or that kind of thing. And I mean, I love Resident Evil 4, but half of that game, in my memory, is just moving shit around in that case.
Yep.
Yeah, that was what was fun about that though, is that you could move everything to a certain way, so you could have more room.
And you could rotate it, yeah.
I liked
you could
that.
kind of stack things up in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, and the worst thing is, something that's really cool is that to get the Master Sword, you don't just get it. You have to build up your strength. You have to have enough hearts.
Yeah, she just got it in the episode I was watching. So
It's got durability.
Yeah.
Use it too long, it runs out of energy, and you have to wait 10 minutes until you can use it again.
Yeah.
also it's just got a cooldown. That's better than nothing, but it's
Yeah.
still annoying.
It's
Like,
this
you
is a
should
sword
just be able to
that's
do like
Demon's
1
Bane.
or 10 damage or something if it has no power left. You know, why would
Yeah,
it be
well,
completely dormant? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's still a
it's like,
blade. It's still a
yeah, it's
hard
like-
surface. Still bang
So-
someone in
so-
the face with it.
You know how they could have done it? Secrets of Mana. You couldn't just keep mashing the button to attack an image. You had to hit once, wait for your bar to fill up if you want to do max damage, hit again, wait for it to fill up. Do something similar with the Master Sword. Don't you?
Yeah.
You can like only slash the sword until it like runs out of energy. Wait, it's built up a bit, do a bit more damage. You know, not just it's useless now. You have to wait 10 minutes.
It seems a bit strange because there are other things in that game as well that are purely put in to make people kind of wait. Like the rain
Yes.
system.
Oh, the fucking rain!
Like literally when it's raining, it's like I've seen people trying to justify the rain, saying, sometimes in real life, it is raining and you can't do anything about it. But
I'm like, this is a
when it leads to the
magical
point where,
world.
like, literally, the only option is to stand there and wait for the
Yeah.
rain to finish.
You know what my favourite is thunder and lightning. Guess I can't go out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
I guess
like,
I better
remember in
stop doing what I'm
Ocarina of
doing.
Time when you had a Song of Storms?
Yeah.
You know?
It's cool. I like the idea, like the rev, like because it is funny when it starts. Lightning starts because you get the warning that you're wearing metal gear, and you're like, I guess I'd better change my weapons. But also, I like that to a certain extent. The rain, that's cool. But it's annoying when I'm trying to do the main story. And again, the rain problem is like, I need to climb this to get to the area where the thing is. I guess I can't do that because it's raining. That's not fun. That's stupid. You're artificially lengthening the game. And it always makes me laugh when people go, but it's realistic because, have you tried to climb a mountain when it's raining? No, I haven't. Have you tried to carry 12 broadswords and sprinting around at the same time? And then climbing a mountain?
I mean, have you seen the size of those bombs? I mean, come on, where are you putting those fucking things?
Have you battled giant floating electric luck dragons?
Yeah. Can you
I've
take a
heard some
punch on the
people say
chin by a
that-
stone giant? I mean, can you do that?
I hate it when people try to go, but it's realistic. Like, don't do that. It's
Yeah,
a
don't
fantasy.
pick and choose.
I've heard some people say that you get that kind of that forecast thing that says whether it's going to be sunny
Yeah.
or wet.
It helps.
Some people have been saying that apparently sometimes that's wrong. And apparently that's a
man.
great feature because it, in real life sometimes the weatherman gets it wrong.
Oh
my
fuck
God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Thanks you. Yeah, because that's what I need. It's like, lol, it was wrong. I guess you better just go back to the stable and sleep and then make your way here all over again.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Man, I can't
Ridiculous.
help but feel we got off topic slightly.
Yeah, was this like a Legend of Zelda podcast
I'm
all of
sorry.
a sudden? But you know
It's
what?
annoying 'cause-
Hey, you know what? The Triforce is a triangle.
It is, isn't it?
Dude, you are the king of fucking Segues.
One day you're not going to be able to come up with one. It's going to be that's going to be when we have to call it a day. It's like, I think we've reached a limit. You can't come up with one now.
You'll just be like,
you just retired.
The concept of breathing and Picasso's Guernica. I can't make a link between these.
Oh, shit.
I'm stumped.
Guys. You just retire. And we have to recast your role. And it's
Yeah.
it'll be someone who just isn't as funny, and it's going to be like when they tried to replace Rimmer in Red Dwarf, and it's just not going to work. And we end up getting you back in anyway. But then the other person's still there, and it's just weird. And awkward.
You had
Just
my
like
job
Lucci
once.
flew to his home planet.
But yeah, so the Triforce triangles. There's 3 triangles
Yes.
in the Triforce, 3 sides to a triangle, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Coincidentally, the character in Triangle also seems to have like 3 personas, but we'll get into that because we're going to start talking about Triangle right now.
Yes.
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 I can't remember exactly why I watched this movie the first time that I did. I think it may have been purely based on the fact that while I was at university, Play.com, the website, ran some really good Blu-ray deals where it would kind of give you like 2 for £10 or
yes,
something.
they did.
And this
I
was
remember
back in
that.
the day when Blu-rays were a bit more expensive than they are now.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, oh, you bought that on Blu-ray? Yeah, I know it. Oh my god. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
must
would
be very
use
rich.
this. I would use this deal quite often. I would spend my student loans, which I'm still paying off, by the way,
You and me both.
Hi guys.
these
Yeah,
fucking Blu-ray deals, and I must have at some point looked at Triangle and thought, that looks interesting. I'll buy it because I know that the director is kind of more famous for a film he did before called Creeper or Creep or something.
Creep. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Incidentally,
Which I've never seen actually.
I know it's set in the London Underground about a crazy monster thing. Incidentally, no bullshit. My uncle auditioned for the role of the Creep.
Oh really?
He did.
I see your uncle from time to time on Facebook. Things you like by him, and he seems like the quintessential cool uncle.
He is. He's I'm a lot like him. It's quite scary at times. Like my previous girlfriend, who I'm no longer with. Just in case there's any ladies listening. If there are, you're not listening because you're not there. You're not real. There's no women that are interested. Not in me. The first time she met him and saw him on stage, because he's got which is it's a horror theme. He's inspired by the work of David Lynch. They have a cabaret show they do called the Double R Club in London. But first time she saw him on stage, she during the interval she looked at me. She was looking at me a lot, just in disbelief. And then interval, she just leaned over and said, "I can't believe you're exactly like your fucking uncle." The way he gestures with his hands, the inflection, everything in your voice, the way when you get angry, what you do with your hands when you're talking about things is you're just like him. It's weird.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just as cynical as I am, if more so when it comes to certain things. But yeah, he auditioned for the role of the Creep, and he lost out to someone else, obviously. And I remember he watched it when it came out, and he's like, "Well, at least I'm relieved of one thing." I said, "Well," he went, "It was shit."
Wasn't he in Star Wars?
Yes, he played. He was one in the canteen scene.
The new one.
Yeah, he was Pastor Omlin. He wasn't. They're not. They look like the Hammerhead aliens, but they're not. They're called something different. He told me a funny story of it still didn't feel real when he was getting in costume and everything, and he said he was telling me in the moment he realised, oh my god, this is actually happening, is when he was waiting and they were putting his suit on, because the big animatronic head he had was fucking huge, so it took ages to get into this thing. And he said, I was standing there and all of a sudden I'm looking up and Chewbacca walks past. And he went, at that moment, he said, I unintentionally just went, ah. It's like for a minute the child came back. I was like, oh my god, Star Wars. But yeah, he's in that. J.J. Abrams spoke to him and said, you can't see through that, can you? No, I can't see a thing. Okay, good. Okay, action.
Nice.
Nice.
Daisy Ridley spoke to him because he actually had a scene that was cut with her where I think she says something to him and he's just gestures, and he's a creature performer in the next one as well. So.
Oh,
Really
nice.
fucking cool.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so I got good swag from that. But yeah,
Nice.
So the director directed Creep, and I'm babbling again and running away with this. Stop it! Why are you doing this, Matt?
No, that was a lovely little anecdote. That
Yeah,
was
at
nice.
least
I like that.
yeah, it was a good story. So that's cool. Your uncle was in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's fucking great. But yeah, so Christopher Smith is the director of Triangle, right? Yes. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
He directed Creep, and I didn't realise he also directed another film called Severance, which I have seen.
I've heard of
which
it, but I
it's
haven't seen it.
Quite funny. It's quite funny. The only problem is Danny Dyer's in it.
Oh, I love Danny Dyer. Danny Dyer's
Dyer.
my guilty pleasure.
I still think my favourite impression of Danny Dyer is Mark Kermode. I'm Danny Dyer, and I'm gonna beat you up because I'm a geezer. Which Danny Dyer didn't like and threatened him. So I'm gonna knock him outside his canister.
I'm gonna knock him outside his canister.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna. Where's it? No, I'll strike him upside his canister.
Ah.
And Mark Kermode just proceeded to make fun of him even more. He was like, he doesn't like when I say, "Oh, Danny Dyer." So I'm just gonna do it all the time now. So it's Danny Dyer in another movie. So
Oh
but,
man, I like Danny Dyer.
Severance is it's a comedy horror. It's good. It's not perfect. It's got funny elements. So I was quite surprised when I found out that the same guy directed Triangle, because Severance is supposed to be funny.
And Triangle is a laugh out loud hilarious romp through.
I mean, it's got an autistic kid. I mean, what's not to laugh at? What's not depressing?
Yeah, incidentally, I just
Completely different
realised
tones.
that this is the second film in a row I've suggested that has basically an abusive mother and a child with potentially, difficulties and stuff. I didn't plan that at all.
Sure.
It's just kind of happened that way.
Lying, it's some kind of strange fetish.
Hit me, mommy. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Strike the child with the disability. Do it.
What was
That
it
is
like?
the movie complete for me.
What was
Shit,
it
are
like?
you guys reading my notes?
Yeah. They're on live stream right now. I don't know.
Oh shit, my
Put a
camera's on.
webcam straight into your notes. But yeah, so that's.
yeah.
But maybe I missed the first 2 minutes of the movie Triangle because I didn't see any abuse in the beginning of the movie. So I don't know if you just gave away the total ending of the movie.
Maybe, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Because
Spoilers of the
everyone
Damned.
listening has seen the movie.
Everyone
Also-
listening, yes.
And anyone bitching.
Because
what's
they
the name?
had their warning, and that warning has passed.
And also, if there are any of you that are about to get really angry, read the fucking title of the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Spoilers is in the name of the podcast. It's okay.
So
Read your day, it's fine.
I really, really liked the overall construction of the film, though I think there are a couple of plot holes. And
Okay.
I wouldn't really, I wouldn't really even suggest them, except that this was a tightly constructed film that relied heavily on reusing scenes and then adding more to scenes and adding more to scenes, so you get like a multi-layered, like onions, product. That's why I was asking if the abuse happened in the beginning, because I remember seeing the paint spill. I remember seeing her cleaning up. I remember her getting her dress with paint on it, and she was like, "Grr!" And then she had to change. And I remember somebody knocking, and I remember a thing on the fridge, but I don't remember any abuse happening at the point there.
No, it was kind of elements of the unreliable narrator kind of glossing over some of the things that may have happened by kind of cutting away from them instead of seeing them play out like you do later on in the film.
Yeah, which was really nice, honestly, because I thought I was done with the movie, and then it sort of delivered me a point. Here, this is why we did all of this. Now you have a full story. And I was like, oh shit, this movie was good. But so she ends up. That's right. Yeah, she was going to a yacht with her friends to go out sailing.
Yes.
For no reason, no given reason whatsoever. Which actually works towards the end of the movie, because once again it all comes full circle.
Well, there is a given reason. That guy, I call him Captain Hipster, but basically, I think his name's Greg.
Yeah.
Greg.
He invites both her and her son to come sailing with him because I think he's kind of, he's a bit sweet on her. So.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a bit sweet
and
on
the
her.
ship,
But
of course, is called the Triangle.
Yeah.
And this might have gone over your heads, guys, but, okay, this movie, right, is set in Florida, right?
No.
Yeah.
And the Bermuda Triangle
No.
is
No
off the
way.
coast of Florida, right? And
No
the ship's
way.
called the Triangle, right?
Triangles, triangles.
I think that's out of everything that's like, because it has some good ideas behind it. I didn't like all of it, but I think that's probably one of the more heavy-handed things. It's called the triangle.
And definitely, the thing is, I read an interview with the director, and apparently that's where the idea began, the sort of the genesis of the movie. They decided they wanted to do a film about something to do with the Bermuda Triangle, but then what they did was they sort of took references out as they went along because they felt that they were too heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And I still think
That stays in.
they were a bit too heavy-handed.
The triangle, that's fine.
They definitely should have changed the name of the boat. Nobody names their boat the Triangle. Nobody.
Yeah, it's like,
Fucking
why is it
nobody.
called- You'd be like, why's your boat called the Triangle?
It's kind of like a triangle if you stretch one angle out really long and you squinch the other two together. So that's why I did that.
if I hit you in the head with a brick, it might look like one. It's because he's a hipster, and he's got the lesser Hemsworth brother.
I mean, really, they could have
on
called
board.
it something like Remembrance, or even something else that symbolizes
something,
repetition,
yeah.
or something, or
the mirror. I don't know, something.
yeah, the mirror would have
you know.
been fine. That would have been a good name. That would have been a good name that
Yeah.
would have worked with the overall theme of the movie.
But the triangle, it's just like, oof. Every time it's almost like they tried not to show the title on the boat as well. It's like, no, we're just ashamed of it.
Yeah, we'll just give it like
Like
a
it would
quarter
move-
second of screen time, and then we'll move on, and nobody will fucking see the name of this boat.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very quick. It's like, oh no, just don't show it. We've made a huge mistake.
They should have spelled
I
it
think-
Tryangle.
I think my problem with the movie, the thing I like about the movie is the movie has got lots of kind of interesting ideas that we will get into definitely.
Yes.
But I feel like the problem is it wears its kind of influences and its ideas kind of very much on its sleeve, and they're very visible, and that's kind of a bit disheartening because it feels, I was googling around and I found sort of like popular kind of consensus is that this film thinks it's much more clever than it actually is.
Yeah, I think it is. Because one of the major problems I had with it was just it didn't follow its own rules
Okay.
enough. There's lots of things where I know we'll get into later where things are like, oh, there's multiple of these, which means it's happened multiple times, but then there's no consistency with that.
Yeah.
When
Okay,
a
it'd be
character
interesting
takes
to see what you think on that, because I used to think that there was no internal logic to the actual, I guess we're past spoilers, the looping of events. But I saw someone lay out a very kind of concise argument that actually makes a lot of sense in terms of logic.
Well, let me ask you real quick. Does it explain why there aren't multiple car accidents at the end?
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, I was talking to because I watched it with my friend at the earlier, and we were saying because obviously without saying who's in the car crash, we were just joking, saying, is this more just like filling up with multiples of this person? And like, stop bringing them, stop it. I'm done. Why are they all here?
Yeah, like stop
Stinks.
bringing these birds over here. Like
Yeah.
there's those. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut into that.
Fucking bird. It's goddamn seagulls ruin everything.
Yeah,
It's the beginning of the birdemic.
Birdemic. But see, that's the
like
one
prequel.
question that I have, because it occurred to me, like, because there are scenes, as we already know, there are scenes where there's like multiples of something, and I think they work really well, honestly. Like when I can't remember any of their fucking names, but the one who got shanked in the gut, and she's dragging herself out to like the prow of the ship, and she's outside amongst a pile of others of herself, because she's done this like hundreds of times before.
Yeah,
That shit
I can't
was
remember her
like-
name either. In my head, I call her annoying wife.
Yeah.
Alice comes to
prissy
mind,
bitch.
but I don't think her name was Alice. I'm going to call her Alice, though. So Alice is, like, dying right there, and they all have the same sweater pressed against their belly to try to prevent the bleeding. I thought that was a really well-done scene. I was like, okay, this shit's happening for real. She's got to be losing her fucking mind right now, along with all the blood.
Yeah.
And then you have the scene with the birds later on when, like, she hits the bird with her car. pulls over, gets the bird, throws it, and like there's a pile of birds off the street, and it's like, oh shit, this has happened a lot too. So where does it go from here? And then it just sort of loops back to the beginning. That's why I was like, well, if it happened there, like what if there's like a fuck ton of birds? Why aren't there also like a similar number of cars clogging up the interstate or whatever?
It's the problem I had.
There are some thoughts on the ending in terms of the car crash that probably they don't explain that, but they probably at least hand wave it a bit.
Yeah,
but we'll get into those.
Because that's one of the major problems I like. Again, like when you're saying like the multiples, like it's almost like the movie remembers that things repeat when it feels convenient.
Yeah.
Like when she, because we're getting quite far into it, when she randomly decides that she must do these horrible things, she goes and grabs one of the guns off of the wall and the overalls. Okay, question: why are there repetition and multiples of your lockets in the between below the grate and the paper, but why are there no overalls or weapons missing? If you remember it, if those things stay, why are there not multiple other things? Why are there? Why does the blood only stay sometimes? Why do these things only happen sometimes? Like it annoyed me because I love the concept of stuff like that. It's when it's done really, when it's really, really, really good, it's really intelligent. It's really well done because a lot of it is competently made. And it's just like when it bugs me more, I think, when something comes really close and then makes some silly decisions than when something's just outwardly awful. When something's outwardly awful, I can just go, fucking horrible, I don't have to see it again. But when something is so close to being something really special and then they fuck it up, I think
because they
it's
pay
worse.
attention to certain things really closely. It's a shame that it doesn't get applied all the way around.
Exactly.
I mean, there are things we can think of in terms of like because we're talking about the ship, the Aeolus, which in itself is a very heavy-handed name check.
Well, even when the character's like, this is what it means, like, thank you, Captain Exposition.
Yeah, the first thing I thought in my head was, air quotes, the rules. I've talked about the rules scene before. But the Aeolus, as it is, appears to be a sort of I think it was 1930s sort of like ocean liner. Gave me real kind of like Shining Overlook Hotel vibes.
Yeah, I can see that.
But because to me, the ship being kind of like sailing forever implies that it's kind of caught in the Bermuda Triangle. So it must have sailed here in the 1930s, and everything on board is kind of stuck in a loop. You get that repeating record and things like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, the only thing I can think of that would explain the magical refilling ammo canister and magic cupboard of overalls is just something to do with the fact that when it kind of loops, those things kind of are replaced, sort of.
Yeah, because those things were part of the ship
guess.
Before Jess got on board, which is why there's silver lockets all over the place, because she keeps dropping them in her repetitions, and the boat doesn't remove them because they're not part of the boat.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only kind of logic I can look to for that. And the food as well starts off as good and then becomes spoiled. And so when the boat kind of like does its loop, the food becomes normal again, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
We will defeat it.
You're right though. What your kind of like comment is very. There's complete truth to your comment. What I'm doing is I'm trying to look at the movie to find an answer sort of for that. The movie doesn't provide one, and you're right, the movie should have provided one, seeing as it provided all of this other kind of like consistencies.
I think because it's the problem with it has all the dead bodies, and then there's that's where that bloodstain came from. I'm like, okay, question, why is there no massive blood splatter from when you somehow impaled Liam Hemsworth's head on that stick, that spike? That is some serious strength, because he's a big dude. Because it all sprays out. I'm like, okay, well, because that's how my brain works for these types of films when they're given these rules of like, oh, that's how this got here and this got here. I'm like, well, if that's the case, why is that not there? Why is when he dies in the first time he dies in the dining room and there's like fucking blood all over the place? Why is there no blood when they go the next iteration of people. that have
Yeah,
come
I
in.
see what you mean.
That's
like
what I mean.
if we're leaving
Like,
things behind, why is it?
Yeah.
Why is that the? Yeah. Except my
That's what I
previous
mean.
theory still worked. I thought with the lockets, but at the same time, if the lockets stay behind, then the blood should also stay behind.
Yeah.
And it should just
Yeah.
get worse and
They-
worse and worse.
Yeah, they-
that would be awesome.
That's a good point.
if they showed her getting rid of the bodies all the time, like actually getting rid of them, because sometimes you don't see it, and then maybe cleaning up the mess. Because it's weird, like, oh well, this is this stays here, but this doesn't.
Again, the only thing I can think of as a possibility is that perhaps what we're seeing, those bodies, the blood left behind, is something that kind of only Jess is really seeing. Because I mean, you were
Yeah.
talking earlier about the annoying wife character that gets stabbed and she kind of
Maybe.
crawls her way into that pile of previous hers.
doesn't
She
react.
looks shooken up, but she doesn't look shooken up enough to kind of realise what exactly is surrounding her.
Right. She
So,
doesn't
I mean,
acknowledge the other corpses.
Yeah, so we could assume that perhaps this whole... Because, I mean, events seem to be singly kind of focused around the Jess character, the one that we follow through the movie. So,
Yes.
it's not a huge stretch to say perhaps they don't see that because only she can see it. She sees the multiple lockets, she sees the notes on the floor,
Yeah.
but no one else does. But, I mean, again, you're right, it's hand-waving, it's trying to make
Yeah.
up... a
But we
reason.
have confirmation of that too. Like when she sees Downey in the water with the birds on him, she tries to show Victor. Victor
Maybe.
does not see him.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
then she doesn't see him afterwards as well.
right.
Yeah, well,
so
the editing there definitely seems to imply that she also sees he's gone, so...
Because she throws the apple like, aha! I have an apple. What?
well,
She take
I
it off
mean,
of this like. That's
yeah,
my
yeah, okay, yeah. After she threw the apple, she also sees that he's gone. That's a confirmation. But again, I mean, if we're talking hallucinations, that's something that'll come and go. You don't have to really explain why they're there, why they're not there at a single moment. Especially if she starts to believe that Victor doesn't see him, so she starts to understand that Downey's not there. So maybe that's what removed the corpse from her mind.
Maybe.
Having someone else assure her that there's no Downey, and especially since she doesn't want this shit to happen. You hear what you want to hear, you see what you want to see, and especially in these situations where you're in a high crisis thing, you're like, well, maybe it's okay then. Maybe I was just fucking whatever. maybe I don't have to kill all my friends. That would be nice. That kind of thing.
Even if like I had problems with it, I mean, at least I can say that I can talk about it, and it's not just this sucks.
Right.
It's like I had problems with it because this, and this, but at least there's like discussion about it, which is that's good. At least there's that. It's not just a case of none of that made no sense. Nothing like that. So it's like, and like I said, I did like some of it. I think the build up initially is really good.
I was so mad at the build-up. I was like, okay, what's got him? What is this? Tell me something. It's been a
Sack
half
Man.
an hour now.
It's sack person. I do need to talk about the sack that she puts on the head, though. I'm like, yes, I need to kill my friends, so I'm going to put on something that greatly lowers my visibility. Like, you can't see shit out of that. Those holes are tiny.
Yeah, it's just a bullshit excuse to keep her identity hidden for a while, isn't it?
Ooh, it looks like a killer. It's But then again, if you look at the poster gives that away anyway.
Yeah, it shows her hovering over a reflection of herself in the work
in the whole
outfit
getup.
and the sack. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does also have one of my favourite terrible taglines, which is "Fear comes in waves," which is just brilliant. I love that. So what can we need to put something really scary on a movie that's not really that's actually more about the whole repetition and looping aspect. It's like, well, they're on a boat. Boats at sea, and there's waves, and they're scary. Waves are scary, right? Tsunamis are scary as shit. Like,
Yeah.
they've very started playing to it once.
But how often has a tagline sold you on a movie anyway?
I don't know.
I think the most egregious word in that example is fear, because
It's not. Yeah,
it's not really a fear
movie.
movie. It's
not.
more of a kind of paranoid confusion, weirdness, spiraling kind of like insanity.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
again, it's I can't because the tags to the actual name is too small, but the quote on the front of the same poster is "It will twist you and terrify you over and over."
Yeah,
No, it
well.
won't. It's not that kind of movie. At least it didn't say it's a tour de force. It didn't say anything like that, because that's just like, if the movie was alright, but I'm getting paid, so tour de force, action-packed, adrenaline pumping. Fucking done. There you go. Give me my money.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a shotgun.
That's why I wouldn't
Got a
really,
shotgun.
I wouldn't really put too much stock into those words because that's just something to slap on a cover, you know.
Oh yeah, but they're brilliant. I love horror movies. Are always the really funny ones. They're always the funny ones. The horror films because they're like we've got to have something scary. One of my favorite cult horror films growing up. And still one of my favorites. Phantasm, the original Phantasm, is a absolutely mental mindfuck of a movie. It's surrealist horror, like brilliant. I love it. It's got one of the coolest like creature monster things ever, which is just a silver sphere, that just flies along, and
I've
two
seen a
prongs
clip
come
of
out,
that. Yeah.
and just like drill into your head and
Grisly
blood comes out. It's
deaths
great.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's great. And in that, the tagline was something like, "If this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead." Oh no, maybe it means I'm dead inside.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's going to give me an existential crisis.
It's just, it seems like these people look up, like, they've got the book of idioms, and then they just scroll through, they pick one, and then they replace a word for dead or fear or dying. So it's like, the early bird catches the death.
Or just coming like, it's just like a haunted house movie. It's just, ooh. That's the tagline.
Stitch in
isn't it?
time saves death.
They can't help you when you're dead.
That reminds me of
Paramed.
YouTube poops. They can't help you when you're spaghetti.
I love what
But we're not gonna go into that. We could talk about that kind of stuff all damn day.
That's its own kind of scary.
Yeah. The other thing about Triangle though is that the looping aspect of the ship constantly repeating itself. It's a surprise when you see the Triangle come back with all of her friends on it, and she's staring at herself, and they reboard the boat, and you start seeing how like a layer has just been added to the story.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of eyebrow, like, oh, okay, this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because they all die quick. No, wow, jeez, this film can't be over. I know it's not long, but holy shit.
yeah, exactly. Like she fights the guy and she throws him overboard, and okay, cool, that's great. And then it's like, oh no, and it sort of like had a 1408 response from me, where it's just like you start realizing that this is a supernatural problem, and now she's got a whole new thing to deal with. And I really liked that moment in this movie. I think it was really well done because they give you like a full movie until that happens, and then you realize there's more. And I really wanted like 10 more minutes because like that's the beginning of the loops, right? So she's now aware of herself. So now she's aware of herself who is not aware of herself. She now understands that like killing them is the only way to get off the boat, because otherwise...
Can I add a little note in here?
Sure.
This is just the beginning of the loop for the jest that we're following. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes, of course. So she realizes that she actually has to kill everybody, but she doesn't want to do it, so she starts setting up things to break the cycle a bit. Throughout all of this, more loops are added, and she starts realizing she does have to kill everybody to get off the boat. Otherwise, I guess everyone would just endlessly wander the boat. I don't really know what the problem would be, because nobody else is going to kill anybody.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what if she just helped them? Or she just like waited, you know, with the bit where they just like they board it. Like she's waiting, they're going, hey, yeah, this is weird, right? So there's another me, who's gonna try and kill you. You're gonna survive because you're gonna try and then kill the you that's trying to kill them. But then you're gonna be me. So yeah, don't get on the boat.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like after she dies in the car wreck at the end, and it starts all over again, she doesn't remember anything because she's dead. So she can't.
But she remembers enough to apologize to Greg, doesn't she?
She
that's one of the better things.
There are multiple readings of that, and when we get to the ending, I will go into those. But yeah, for the most part, we're meant to infer that she loses her memory sometime when she goes to sleep on the boat.
Right.
Sort of, essentially.
Because she is tired. Because she's been through a whole lot of shit. She didn't just have a normal morning.
I mean, I don't know if it's the supernatural element, but for some reason she can't close her fucking mouth either. So she spends the whole movie just like her mouth just like with this just. Where he's going? This is weird.
But you know, maybe she paid for those perfect teeth and she wants to show it off.
She's like, bitch, I'm showing them.
These are $1,000 teeth right here. I'm going to show everybody.
I'm showing all of them.
Though
But
honestly,
you can't tell me what to do. This is triangle.
though I honestly find that a valid facial reaction to what she's going through because her mouth is agape. You know, she's like, "What the fuck?" And if you say that out loud right now, you'll notice that your face's natural position is to hang open a little bit, and she's just holding that because she's still in the situation. She could just be like, "What the fuck? Oh, this is a movie." She's like, "What the fuck?"
What?
Yeah.
I did one of my favorite moments. Is when some of the characters do what they do in a lot of slasher films. In particular, they do the dumb character thing where they get tricked. It's like the other her arrives in completely different clothes, with a wound on her head, acting weird, like we have to leave now. She is coming. Like, you're acting different. When did you change your clothes? You didn't have a wound when we saw last. It's fine. Come in here. She's just trying to trick you. Yeah. I'm not acting weird. Now I'm going to stab you repeatedly in the neck.
I just really love my son. Stab, stab, stab.
Yeah. And also, like, I was so confused when she like gets a good shot of her on the head, and she's like, flesh wound. It's like, did she have like, was it like a helmet under the sack? Because I was really confused because like blood sprays out of it when she shoots her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I just got a little little gash on my head. I'll be fine. But it's like, one of my favorite things. She just acts so obviously evil and crazy, and they're like, because she's like, don't trust her, and she's like, no, I'm acting really weird. Follow me in my strange overalls of death.
And she always takes them into the same room with the water that's always running. I don't understand that. That to me, like, okay, why? Why was that? But the one thing, and I before I continue, I love this movie. I think it's really good. But anyway, the one thing I do nitpick on this is her fucking shoes.
Oh my god!
You know, like I hate heels. I hate the concept. I hate the idea. I hate that women have gotten accustomed to wearing heels because they're obviously painful and uncomfortable. Two, her heels have stayed on even underwater after the triangle gets like topped over. So that's impossible because if you ever swam with slippers on or sandals on, you're losing those fuckers. They're gone, and they're heavy. So her heavy heels would have been gone, and it wouldn't have been a problem. The entire boat is clean. Walking barefoot like Victor did wouldn't cause any issues. So they should have just either wear shoes or lose those sandals. And she's wearing them all the way through the movie. Even
and also. Sorry, go on. I'll butt in a minute.
Okay, but also like it's like the thing that reveals her for who she is when Greg sees her wearing her shoes. He's like,
I know those shoes.
Jess?
It seems like that's the only plot reason why.
Yeah. So I mean, I forgive them for that because I mean that's all right. I mean, she's not like a master killer. She wouldn't know to disguise everything. Although she probably should have thought about dropping those shoes. But still, you know, I thought that was all right. But she should have lost them in the shipwreck. For sure.
What's the fact that she keeps those stay on absolutely fine, but when she's ashore, the overalls come right off. You know, the overalls that were zipped up.
Yeah. She's on the beach still wearing those sandals.
It's like, have you ever tried to get out of overalls? They're not that easy.
Yeah.
Especially when they're zipped up.
Exactly.
Unless it was a spooky ghost that did it, I don't know.
But let's talk about the layers because there's not a whole lot left in the movie. But that, you know. But,
well, I've got a little bit I prepared, actually.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I basically, the reason why the movie is not called Circle and it's called Triangle, because we're dealing with a kind of a cycle here. It is kind of cyclical. But if everything happened in the same way every time, then it would be a circle. But the reason why I think it's called Triangle, aside from the heavy-handed references to the Bermuda Triangle, is... it kind of has this kind of three-sided element to it. There's sort of Jess arrives on the boat, then she travels along one side of the triangle to the point where she is aware that the next group have boarded the boat. She kind of travels along that to the third point where she realizes she has to kill them all, and then travel along that point to escape the triangle, only to come back to it every time. I was looking for... I basically just typed Triangle 2009 into YouTube to see if there are any kind of like people who are trying to break down the logistics of the plot and everything else. And there's this one guy, I'll link him below. His name is Silmavenus or something like that. I'll link it in the description. And he did a really good video. Although the guy speaks like Dracula, basically it's like being lectured for 20 minutes on the film by Dracula.
It is good.
It's very racist.
Let's count the points of the triangle. 1, 2, 3.
Come to my castle so I can eat you.
That would be awesome. I want the count to relate triangle to me. That would be great.
Yeah.
One iteration. Two iterations.
Okay.
Kill all your friends.
30 lockets. 31.
Sorry, Tom.
Well, the very basic Cliff Notes kind of approximation of his explanation is if you apply numbers to the groups that continually keep boarding the ALS, you can kind of account for every single member and what happens to them and how they interact with each other. For instance, if you call the group that we follow onto the boat, say Group 3, then Group 3 Jess is seeing the reflection of a Group 2 Jess running around in the corridors and is being shot at by a Group 1 Jess in a mask, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then our Group 3 Jess will go on to be the Jess running around for the Group 4 Jess and will shoot at the Group 5 Jess. So in this way, he basically waffles on for ages, but he then brings out this brilliant graphic that illustrates the whole point. And being the medium of podcasting, I can't recreate it here. But I do suggest going and taking a look at it because it very instantly kind of shows in a visual way how this thing can loop on forever, kind of concurrently, sort of things happening in parallel with new groups coming in all the time. So definitely check that out.
So
Okay, I can see that. That makes
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. It's better than one of the ones I read, and someone said, "Yeah, well, what happens when you spin a triangle really fast? It makes a circle."
Oh.
I'm like, hey, you've missed the point. Whoosh. Yeah.
Let me ask real quick. Does that mean? And I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, but I guess I just have to ask the question out loud. The group itself never survives. There's no way they can ever survive, right?
Yeah, I mean, arguably, depending on whose theory you're reading, the girl who kind of gets washed out to sea may be the only one that survived. You know, the one, I think
Heather.
her name was
Heather.
Heather?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember her fucking name. Heather.
And
Heather.
everybody else is dead. And, you know, sort of like enters this kind of purgatorial realm of the Bermuda Triangle and then proceed to die on the boat. I'm not sure. The one thing that kind of is coming back to me, and I was watching it again with my wife, and the one thing that she kept asking is, but why has she got to kill them, though? But why has she got to kill them?
Right.
Yeah.
Like if she just walked in front of them and said, "Hey, there's two of me. This is a fucked up situation. Let's see if we can't figure a way off this boat." Or if nothing else, we can confirm there's no one on this boat, and all we have to do is leave.
It's like when she approaches Liam Hemsworth, and she's like, "Oh no, you don't understand. I'm a me from a different." It's like, grab his fucking hand, and go, "Come with me." Oh look, can you see that? That's me, right? Oh, no, it's weird. It's fucking crazy.
However,
That's me. Do you believe me now?
However, I don't want to say this is a perfect answer to that problem, but she did try to show him Downey drowning in the water, being eaten by birds, and that didn't show up. So for some reason, it could just be some hand waving shit going on there.
Yeah.
She did try to prove that she's not crazy, and then it didn't work, so that made her feel crazier, and then she ended up killing him. So
I'm like, that's a sharp. Why is that spike so sharp on the side? Like somewhere where people would be walking, and damn, that girl's strong, man.
Well, I don't think Victor
He's
tried to resist. I think he was just trying to be nice. He didn't want to hit her, so he was like, "Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa," backing up naturally.
I like how he takes her anyway. He's like, ooh, spraying blood. Oh, because when he first he's like, ow, ooh. I'm like, I think I'd be going, oh my fucking god, my back of my head.
Yeah.
I must say that's one of the most uncomfortable scene in the whole film is when she sticks her finger in his his lovely moist head hole.
Because at that point she doesn't. We don't know what's happened. We just see him kind of stumble in.
Yeah.
And he's like, guess I better die now.
Just goes to strangle her, basically.
Well, yeah, and he had every right
bitch.
to. He's like, "You bitch!" Arr! He's supposed to be like an 18-year-old kid, so he'd definitely be impulsive enough to go to violence.
Yeah, come on, they're like, hey, when they're like, hey, you've got an 18-year-old kid with you, I'm like, who's the kid? Him?
You'd be surprised.
No.
They get big nowadays.
Like, yeah, that's a kid. It's Liam Hemsworth, man. It's the lesser of the Hemsworths. He doesn't have as much power as Chris.
Not as much power. He can't wield Mjolnir yet.
The power is in the hair, and he's got a shaved head, so...
Yeah.
Because that's it, yeah, he had hair in Independence Day Resurgence. Oh, fuck.
Fuck that movie. We're not talking about that movie.
Wasn't he in the Hunger Games as well? I think he was in the Hunger Games, that one.
Who's the youngest one? It's Luke. Luke's the youngest one. He's the really weird looking one, the really pudgy one. He's the weakest of them.
So anyway.
Weakest. Oh shit, he's older than him. Oh, fuck me.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we're kind of making our way towards the ending, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
we're putting it together as best we can. A movie like this, it's hard to go from beginning to end without relating every detail.
Unless you go like straight synopsis, going this timeline, then this one,
yeah,
and this one. Like you have to kind of just explain it all at once, because it's impossible to really talk about a film like this without spoiling anything. Like I think it'd be really difficult to even the right way to recommend it to someone without saying, like, there's a time that they go, you go, well, it's called Triangle, and then
because if you say to someone
storm.
there's a really good twist, then they're going to spend the whole time looking for the twist.
What's the twist? Yeah, you go, well, they go on a boat, and then there's an electrical storm, and they get like kind of shipwrecked almost. Like they get turned over, and then they find a big derelict ship, and you go, oh, so it's like a spooky ghost. Like, not really, but it'd be really difficult to go, just fucking watch it, shut up.
You know, one thing I did like about that electrical storm, though, the fact that they received a radio transmission from themselves in the loop.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
I'm glad it wasn't her, and it was the really annoying
Alice.
one,
We're going to call her Alice.
Yeah, because the only two people that heard it were Hipster Greg, Hipster Dad, and the main character,
right?
Jess. They're the only two that hear it, so it's kind of off. They'd be like, because it's a bit staticky. I like how. Oh, by the way, speaking of the stress call, I like how disinterested the Coast Guard was. Like, we've just been like, there's a big like storm coming. It's like, not got anything here. It's like, dude, that it looks scary as shit.
Fuck up.
It's like, I like the idea. I like to think that the Coast Guard could still hear them. I'm like, Coast Guard, did you hear that? just puts it down like, fuck. I've got to play me some 3DS, whoever was out at the time.
Yeah.
Because he sounded so disinterested. Like, fuck, I don't know. It's alright. I got nothing in the weather report, so it's probably okay.
So it's probably okay.
They're fine.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's also this Bermuda Triangle magic too, so it could be like an extremely local storm that wasn't picked up on anything because it's magic.
They were speaking to a demon.
But what I like about it, though, like that call and receiving a transmission at all was so good, because like it starts the loops. But it starts to loop in a very small, subtle way that you only notice by the end of the movie. And at that point, there's been like so many revolutions in between the beginning and where you are. And piecing it together is fun. I think it's actually fun. That's why I like this movie a lot. Putting it together in your head, it's a good time. I can see why somebody would make a video specifically about it. Even if it feels like there's some loopholes in the plot. I almost said loot holes. That's stupid.
There's no loot. She keeps losing the gun.
She keeps losing her
locket
necklace down that hole.
Yeah, but she gets it back when she kills herself. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that really explains almost everything. It's so cool. I like it when they do that shit.
One thing I didn't get about that was like, okay, right, I've killed myself. Now I've got to put it in the trunk.
Yeah.
This is a good idea. I'm gonna put it in the trunk in the middle of the day, like, and because she checks it when she's outside, like, body's in there, good, right, and put it in. No one is suspicious.
Wasn't that dude like cutting his grass like right next door?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a trusted neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, in that situation, if my neighbor was dragging a body-sized bag into the trunk, I might be like, they might be doing some camping or whatever. But if it happened like 8 times, I'd be like, okay, they're killing people. I need to call somebody.
He just keeps
like, he's an elderly neighbor, right? She kind of comes out and she goes, "Did you see anyone ring my doorbell?" And he goes, "No." He's like, "Did you see me bring any bodies out and put them in my car boot?" And he's like,
What?
No.
no. Did you see
Not my
anyone?
problem.
Did you see anyone? Maybe it was the one that comes out and asks him is actually the Jess that kills the other Jess. He's like, "Did you see anyone ring my doorbell?" No, I didn't. Put the hammer down. Also, I like the fact that she's like, right, I need to kill myself. I'm gonna use a lump hammer. That'll do the job. And it was like, she's like, the kid's already got autism, and she's like, no, it's fine. Like, I have social difficulties anyway, and I just saw you kill you.
Yeah.
things ain't okay. Like, this ain't going well.
I will never recover from this.
Yeah, it's like, imagine, so he's talking to like his consultant or one of his doctors, so how are you doing, what's his name, like Tom, he's like, how you doing, Tommy? Yeah, I'm doing it well, like, can I talk to you? It's like, something happened a couple of years ago, Doc, like, and I just realised, so it was weird, like, I saw my mum kill my mum, and then she hit her body, like, if he survived, in her body, in the trunk, then we hit a seagull, and she started acting weird. Okay, we have to transfer into another appointment and up your meds.
Let's up your meds. Let's get you real sedated.
She's like, it's okay, Tommy.
But
it's okay. See, it's all clean now. Fuck, man.
That would be a weird situation, but I honestly think that eventually the kid would just sort of put it out of his head because he's just a kid. He would, and you know what?
So, no, didn't happen. No. Oh, fuck you. It's
more complicated to live with this in my memory. I'm just going to remove it entirely. My mom seems to be here. She's nice enough. We're going to carry on like nothing happened.
Yeah, well, she's certainly nicer than the one she killed.
Yeah, like, that's when, like, the movie really, like, not when the movie hit it off for me, but I really enjoyed that scene. It, like, gave it, like, a bullet point, sort of like a thing to do, a reason for her character to have gone through all that stuff, sort of like a Silent Hill 2 sort of thing. Yeah. And I liked that. I was like, you're going to kill her, aren't you? Fuck yeah, I approve of this. Go do that, because she's a bitch. And then she does it, and then she hides the body in the trunk, but I have to ask, wasn't the body in the trunk when she had the car accident?
Yeah, it flies out.
Yeah. It flies out and they assume that she died in the crash. But we're getting onto the car crash now, which is kind of like the kind of pivotal point for the main kind of theory that I saw online.
Guide us through it, Tom.
I think I know the theory of which you speak.
But how should we like a seagull hitting a windscreen, I will do my best.
Fucking seagulls ruin everything.
Did that seagull
the catalyst?
I was reading a interview with the director. Apparently, it's bad luck to kill a seagull or something before traveling. Like some kind of ancient myth or something, so they put that in there as a kind of like a little tidbit. But I have no idea what the fuck. Like, I've never heard of that in my life.
That's about as heavy-handed as the ship being called Triumph.
Well, the majority of the cast is Australian or from New Zealand or something like that. Maybe it's something that they do over there, that they sort of a folklore thing over there.
I hit a seagull. I'm fucking sailing today. This is your future, bitch. I hit a seagull, guys.
Oh, shit. Told you. Turn back. Yeah,
we're going to schedule this for tomorrow or something. Damn.
That's the real twist. Seagull.
Well, speaking of heavy-handed hints and metaphors, do you guys remember when they were talking about Sisyphus?
Nope.
The god that
the son of Aeolus.
The god that lied about something.
Yeah, I'll give you the cliff notes on Sisyphus. But Sisyphus, he made a promise to death. Basically, I think it was something along the lines of he kind of left instructions to his wife that if he were to die, she was to cast his body out into the middle of the square. And apparently he thought, because if my wife loves me, she wouldn't be able to go through with this task. But apparently he died, and she did. She threw his body out in the square just like he asked. So he made a deal with kind of Hades or the underworld or whatever, let me go up to the real world just for a day, and because I want to give my wife I want to give her a piece of my mind for actually doing what I asked her to do.
That bitch.
And not loving me enough to not go through with it. But apparently, he promised, I will come back, and then he tried to break his promise by staying up in the world of the living. So it's kind of like breaking his deal with death. And so in breaking the deal with death, death punished him by giving him a task. And this is where sort of when people say something is kind of a Sisyphean task, he had to move a rock up a hill, but every time he finished the task, the rock would fall to the bottom again, so he'd have to take it to the top. And it's kind of a never-ending task, because as soon as he reached the top, the rock would fall back, and it was an infinite loop. So he's kind of, if Greek myths really happened, he's probably still somewhere doing it.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Lying's wrong.
But he's so buff right now.
This kind of sounds oddly familiar. Sisyphean task, trying to do something over and over again, but not actually being able to accomplish it and being doomed to repeat it.
Right.
This kind of plays into the loop that Jess finds herself in.
Yeah.
And one theory that I sort of really liked is, do you guys remember right after the crash, when she's staring at it, the screen becomes really kind of heavily saturated in blue,
Right.
and that taxi driver comes up behind her and talks to her.
Yeah.
Mr. Roboto.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
a driver.
many people sort of imply that the that taxi driver is either Death or some kind of ferryman, for the river Styx or whatever, kind of a someone who takes souls and helps them pass on to the afterlife.
Yes.
And he kind of drives the point home that her son is dead. It's almost like he's trying to prove a point to her that she has to accept the fact that her son is dead.
Yeah, because he says, there's nothing they can do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no bringing him back.
And exact words. And then he takes her to the dock, but he makes sure to tell her that he's leaving the meter running, and she promises to come back, but with the full intention that she's not going to, that she's going to go try out again to break the cycle. So many people are saying this is kind of akin to this Sisyphean kind of bargain with Death to come back, and then kind of going back on the promise. Yeah. She says, "I promise," so she literally breaks her promise. And she's cheating Death, and as such her punishment will continue until she can find sort of it within herself to accept that her son is gone. And I mean, many people, we can only speculate exactly what the punishment is for. I think, to be fair, if it's just for kind of like getting mildly pissed off your kid if he knocks some paint over, it's probably not worth like a kind of a Sisyphean task. But a lot of people are saying that perhaps she in the opening, the very first opening that we don't actually see, she kind of ends up losing control and kills him, or kind of in some way her son dies, and sort of she herself is well, I mean, it could go either way. Either that she killed him and then she decides to go sailing for some reason. That doesn't seem very fitting.
That's how you get away from the murder scene.
It might
Get away from the man.
It might well be that she ended up killing the both of them in that car crash, but there's a kind of a lingering part of her soul that is trying to kind of live on in a way that she can somehow try to bring her son back. Where are my notes on this? One of the things that supports this kind of like killing of her son theory is that initially, you guys remember, she was invited to come sailing. She was invited to bring her son as well.
Yeah.
And so many people kind of speculating that in the morning of that event, she sort of kind of like flipped and killed him, and then kind of in a state of remorse or kind of like catatonic state, she kind of tries to carry on with life and comes to this sailing thing, and that's how the whole loop starts. Because they kind of make a thing again. I think it plays back to what you guys talked about, the movie thinking that it's smarter than it is. Her clock is the watch is stopped at 8:17, which is the exact same time as the clocks on the boat. But
Yes.
the other guys, the Captain Hipster and the Lesser Hemsworth, they mentioned that their clocks are stopped at 11:30 a.m. And some people sort of espouse that the storm that killed all of them except perhaps Heather, who managed to escape to the world of the living, that happened at 11:30 a.m. So that's why their clocks have stopped. But for Jess, the car crash happened at around 8:17 a.m. So that's why her clock was stopped then. Yeah. So that's the kind of thought behind it.
Yeah, I can see parts of it because it's a bit. I think they make it a bit obvious with the driver because he's just so robotic. I mean, he's like, who are you? I am a driver.
Yeah.
Just a driver. Cannot save child. Initiate protocol. Protocol. Execute. Execute. Get in car. Drive to port. I was like, I think I know where he's going. And there's the theory. I think I read the theory as well about she's breaking the promise.
Yeah.
I was thinking when she says no, I promise I'll be back. Maybe it's like his interpretation's different to hers. Maybe it's like, she'll coming back in the car. And she's like, no, I'll be coming back because I'm going to do it and then come back and save my son. So I will be coming back. So maybe it's like cross wires, you never know. Men are from Mars, men are from Venus. But what I was thinking as well is like, because it's interesting. The watch is the same as the one on the boat, and theirs is different. And I was thinking, why do they have to die horribly then?
Yeah, it seems like
That's
a bum
not
deal
fair.
for like the good ship triangle, doesn't it?
Yeah, because the Alice, as we're going to call her, the annoying prissy one, is a bitch. Poor old Heather just didn't even want to be there. Lesser Hemsworth dies horribly. We're getting he's part of his head impaled on a spike. Greg's a good guy. Why does he have to die horribly?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Sucks,
sometimes
man.
bad things happen to good people, you know? Like Heather, we don't
this
really
is your
know who
fault.
Heather is, but she ended up drowning.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that it doesn't outwardly tell you everything because it does leave itself up to a form of interpretation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'd like it more if I watched it again.
And again, and again,
And again.
and again, and again,
And again. And again 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 and again.
Yeah,
Maybe,
the
I'm
thing
not
is,
sure.
about with the again and again and again part, this is one question I just wanted to throw out while we're talking about the revolutions itself. There is a form of jest that has no story to it. And I don't mean like where you said jest number 2, you know, that one. We get that because we see the lead up to that point. So it continues on. But then there's the Jess who was in the work uniform without a mask, who stabbed Downey or cut Downey's throat and stabbed Alice and caused those deaths. But we never see the lead up to that particular Jess.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, going back to the that guy Sylvaeus or whatever his name is. The video's still in the link to the description.
Syphilis.
Oh,
But,
sorry.
right?
I thought you were sorry, not the YouTuber. Sorry, I thought you meant the Greek thing.
His name is Sylvaeus. Yeah. He kind of I kind of skipped over it in my summary of his notes, but he basically kind of infers that there are two versions of Jess. I know that sounds weird saying we're talking about multiple groups of versions of Jess, but there's kind of like a Jess that boards the boat with her memory intact. And he kind of implies that the first time we see Jess board the boat, she has no memory of the boat or anything on it. But then the Jess that we're seeing at the end of the movie has kind of been through the loop once and kind of does remember. And then that Jess is the one that gets killed by another Jess. You know, there's one Jess that escapes and falls overboard, and that's the one that we follow through to the ending. And then
we see the one, don't we, where she beats her.
Yeah, and then
her in the head and then just
that
throws
one
her
then
overboard.
goes onto the boat again, only to get killed by her, by another version of her, and that kind of closes the loop. So apparently that's when she then wakes up on the boat with no memory, and the whole thing begins again, kind of thing.
I see.
And it kind of closes the loop. I mean, you need to watch the guy's video for it because even though he does speak like this, he does a fairly good job of explaining it in terms of logic. So I'm not sure if I 100% subscribe to the theory that Jess is boarding the boat knowing exactly everything that's previously happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it might explain why that version of Jess, that kind of even I read interviews with the director, they call her Mean Jess, the one that's in the black overalls that's kind of got the head wound and goes. Yeah, they literally call her Mean Jess.
Mean Jess.
But
It's a bit
in
polite.
my mind, all she needs is a beard, and she's like parallel evil dimension Star Trek Jess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
So,
mean.
Yeah.
I think she's the one who's then boarded the boat knowing everything, and she's the one who gets killed. And so, I don't know if I 100% subscribe to that or not. But
Yeah,
it's an
it
interesting idea.
does at least it does sort of suggest there is a loop closure there, and I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. I mean that was like a small thing, and really the way I'm looking at this movie, sort of like a circular saw. No, kind of like a top. If you have a top with like bladed edges that sort of like spiral up, like that Mean Jess is the very top. You know, just the very
Yeah.
top of it. It's spinning and spinning and spinning. So, like, there's like a beginning and an end, and you can't see everything, you know, like in the scope of the story. So, there's going to be beginnings and endings that just sort of happen, and that to me was like the loose string or whatever, like the thing that was just sort of apart from the rest. So, it gives you an idea that there is infinite repetition, even though you don't see all of the stories, something like that. So, but I I mean, I think we've covered most of the movie, and I want to say that I really liked it. I thought it was shot really well. I didn't mind her teeth; they're beautiful.
I saw one guy basically saying like the movie exists because the director really really likes her legs.
All right,
like,
they're good
apparently
too.
There's like hundreds of shots of her legs.
Yeah.
And sort of she's wearing these really 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 high shorts.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Those are some legs. Those are legs.
Like your legs. Open your mouth constantly so it distracts people. So I can look at them.
I don't want anyone else to look at the legs, but me.
Yeah, it's not enough that I'm the one with the leg fetish. I need to film you in a movie that goes out to hundreds of millions of people, but they all need to be looking at your teeth, and then I get the gratification.
Yeah, they have somebody out there with like a belt sander, making sure her teeth are polished.
Oh, dude, I think this actress was on like Home and Away or something. I think she's Australian.
She is
I can't
Australian.
remember what it is I've seen her in apart from Triangle, but
I went ahead and
sure
looked
there's
her up
something.
because I had this idea, like, okay, that lesser Hemsworth guy looks very familiar, but I don't think it's Chris Hemsworth. I found out it's a lesser brother, and then I was like, oh, okay. So I started looking at the other guy, Greg, because he looked familiar too, but I've never seen him before. But he's from New Zealand.
That's what I was thinking.
And then I just noticed that every one of the actors and actresses were either Australian or New Zealand or whatever, and I thought to myself, then why are they using American accents? Except for the, I guess, they're in Miami, Bermuda Triangle,
and it's also
right?
it's
Oh,
all
I
about
know
marketing as well.
I know her from a few things. She was in 30 Days of Night. She was in Bag
I've
of
actually seen
Bones,
that.
which is a Stephen King adaptation.
Oh, she's in the Amityville Horror remake. Oof.
I've not seen that. Is that the one with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
It was
when
alright.
people are like, oh,
Yeah, I saw
that's
it.
a remake. I'm like, yeah, it's alright, but it's like the first one's a fucking masterpiece. It's a stupid story as it is.
So
It's like, oh, it's based on real things. Like, give me some hard evidence that the house was that haunted. Like the walls bleed everywhere.
right.
It was different for like role wise. It was a lot different to see Ryan Reynolds as that type of character. He's good anyway. He just gets people just seem to think he's the funny guy. Like, he's a good actor.
No, yeah,
It's good.
like
He's
that was the
got a
first
lot
time I
of
saw Ryan Reynolds, and I don't know, like he was a scary enough guy, you know.
I think he bulked up for that as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was
He's
definitely
really imposing
cut
in
and
that film.
imposing. Yeah, exactly. You didn't want him bearing down on you. You're like, those are real muscles. All I got is fat. Shit, I gotta go.
I run.
But he can run faster than you. Ryan Reynolds can get you.
Ryan Reynolds always gets his prey.
That's right. He's like running on all fours, with his tongue hanging out of his mouth like a dog. Just
You can run, but you can't hide.
now he's a pirate. What the fuck?
Yarg! 'Tis a sequel to The Fog.
He's running on all
John
fours, but
Carpenter's
one
The
of his
Fog,
hands is
yeah.
still a hook hand, so it's like clack, clack, clack.
He's got a hook foot.
And a
Yarg,
club
so I
foot,
can handle
yeah.
things easily.
Clack, clack, clack.
So he can dangle off of ropes like a spider. What the fuck am I talking about?
Right? Where are we going with this?
Oh my god.
Ryan Reynolds is a fucking scary pirate dog.
Right, I need to.
Oh my god!
I'll tweet him.
That
I'll get
could
this.
be the name of the episode.
I'm gonna,
Do it.
I'll tweet Ryan. I'll tweet Ryan Reynolds. We'll get this movie made. It'll be good. It'll make $100 million alone just because it's Ryan Reynolds. We'll have action figures made
Yep.
with real. He pushed the button. He goes, "Yarg, I'm a pirate." You know, it'd be great. And he comes with like a little rope you can dangle.
I mean,
great.
I'm not a fan of the comic. I've just never read it, but I feel like the guy was at least born to play Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he's a big Deadpool fan, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's good. It's like when Carl Urban was cast as Judge Dredd. It's good to have an actor cast as a character they really admire. Like Carl Urban admitted that he used to read all the 2000 AD comics when he was at like college in New Zealand. Because I'm pretty sure he was the one that said to them like, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't take the mask off. I don't take the helmet off.
Yeah.
Because that's not Dredd.
Right.
Dredd, you know, it's the worst thing they did in the Stallone one. Takes the helmet off. Oh, you're Stallone. You're not Judge Dredd.
Right.
I am the law.
I know. He's Mega C1. Rico.
One of my favorite lines in that old Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd movie, and I don't really remember the line itself, I'll paraphrase it, but it's at the very beginning when he first takes his helmet off, and like the female officer who's ducking behind cover is looking at him like, why are you taking your helmet off? They're shooting at us. And he's like, the effective range of those guns is only like 60 meters, and we're 90 meters away. And I'm like, they're still raining bullets on your head. Put your fucking helmet on. Gravity makes it worse, dude. What are you talking about?
Shit, they got me in the stomach. Shit.
It just reminds me of what we were talking about last cast with Return of the Living Dead. It's like, the US Army made these, bonk, bonk.
Man, that podcast feels like it was only yesterday.
Yeah.
Man, I wish Dredd made more money.
Me too. Dredd was amazing. It was a fucking awesome movie. I haven't seen a movie that good in a long time.
You know what's good about it? It's like that's one of the best like comic book adaptations I've ever seen because it gets it.
Yeah, it gets it spot on.
It doesn't change too much. And they do. It just felt like it was a story from the comics. Like that great moment where she's reading, she can sense him in the next room, like the on the other side of the two-way glass. She's like, there's someone there. There's a lot of anger in him. And then she's about to delve into his backstory. There's like that judge who goes, yeah, shut the fuck up, stop it. She's like, that's it's like the film, the screenwriter and the director going, yeah, that's not important. That's not what you're here for. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay. You know there's something there. Ooh, interesting, but it's not. That's not the point.
Exactly.
You just can go and kill bitches. One of my favourite moments in the whole movie is the minigun. They're trying to kill him, and they're like, oh shit, and they kill the civilians, and then is it? Oh, what's her name? Is it Mama? I can't remember.
I think it's Mama something. I don't think it's Big Mama, but it could have been.
No, Big Mama. I'm gonna look on that, but she like sends a right hand man in, she was just Mama. She sends a right hand man in. You hear lots of gunfire and screaming, and then he comes stomping out, holding him, and just throws him over the side, and then walks back again. No, if that was like a Stallone one or a lesser film, he'd be like, "Happy sales, punk," or something.
It's not like you said happy sales, pink.
It's like, you dropped something. Yeah. And he walked back. He doesn't say anything because Dredd is a force of nature.
Yeah. Oh god, yes.
He's like a shark. It's like a shark that follows the law.
Oh man.
He's going to kill you. It's great. Just like throws him over. I got more work to do. Walks back. I ain't done here.
Right.
It's a good movie.
Well, I would definitely pay to watch a movie that was 2 hours of you doing an impression of Sylvester Stallone.
Yo, it's going fucking crazy. I gotta take some more steroids for the Expendables.
Right.
But he's natural. He's not on steroids. He's on steroids.
Well,
it's like The Rock's all natural. No.
Okay.
Well, speaking of execution,
well away from the triangle.
It's time for the podcast to die.
Chris, it's your choice.
Is it? Oh shit. Well.
Yeah.
Just like the podcast having to die, the dead must rise. I don't know, it's stupid. I do want to do Dead Rising.
Dude, don't question yourself. You are the king of segues. Just commit.
Commit. Yes.
That's your character.
Fucking own it. Ride around on a Segway in real life. Take it to work.
When the film adaptation, when they make the film adaptation, that's going to be your character trait.
Just scene to scene, I guide everyone with a Segway. That'd be awesome. I would watch that movie again and again.
And again.
And again. Anyway. But yeah, I have had plans to do a Dead Rising Let's Play for a couple weeks now, so I figured might as well do work and pleasure at the same time, and we'll do Dead Rising, cover the video game Dead Rising 1 for the next podcast. Should be fun. It's been a long time since I think any of us have played it, so...
I'd be interested to see if the nostalgia sort of blinds me when it comes to some of the more frustrating aspects of it.
Honestly, I think it's been 10 years?
Wow. It must be more than that.
More than that, yeah. Well, my understanding of gameplay concepts.
Was it a launch title for Xbox? If not,
it wasn't a launch title. It wasn't because I went to GameStop and I pulled a display case of Dead Rising off the counter or off the shelf, and I went to the counter. I was like, I want to buy this. He's like, that's a display case. I was like, it's not out yet? He's like, no. I'm like, I'll just put this back then.
Oh fuck!
That was the first time I think they
oh,
started
shit.
doing that, like, hollow shell, like, this is where things will be soon
yeah.
kind of bullshit.
Haha.
Yeah, gotcha, bitch.
Teasing you. It was released on August 8th, 2006.
Wow, 11 years
so
ago.
Holy
It's 11
crap.
years.
Yeah,
almost.
but I bought it on release, and I played it on release on an SD TV. So I'm going to be doing it for the first time on an HD TV. Actually, a computer monitor. I'll be doing it on PC. And,
It's the game that made me buy a HD TV.
Yeah, it should be. I should play it on an HD TV just to, for it to be fitting. But no, it'll be on a monitor. And oh yeah, it's been like 11 years, so I have like an advanced knowledge of game mechanics. I've been playing fighting games in and out. I understand like activation frames and like all the things that make a game work. So it'll be my first time going into it without like emotionally leading myself through the story. Instead, I'll be like playing it like a gamer should,
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting just to do that. So should be fun
as someone
anyway.
who played it to the point of getting 100% completion in it and 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score, humble brag.
Go ahead and pop your collar.
I don't think anyone could pop their collar more than Frank West in that.
Oh yeah.
That was huge. But it would be nice to actually play it without having to worry about all of that completionist nonsense.
Yeah, just like run through it, Save who
Yeah.
you can. Let the survival be the driving force and not the achievements.
Yeah. That'd be good. Okay. Alright then, everybody needs to dig out Dead Rising 1 for Xbox 360, or I guess I think you can pick it up on PS4 now.
Yes, you can. I have it on PS4. Even though I do own it on Xbox 360 because I'm a fucking lunatic.
That's probably the best way to play it, though.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One.
It's
is
not
it?
yet. No, it's
Not
not.
yet? Why
No,
the
it's
fuck
really
not?
not.
Microsoft, if you're listening to this, do that shit today. Stop
They
listening
are
to the
double dipping.
podcast.
The problem,
Fucking do it.
the problem
It was
is
like
they're
one of
double
the-
dipping. They're not making it available yet as a backwards compat. So they're basically forcing people who want to play it on the new system to buy it first.
Yeah.
And I
know
guess
what-
eventually they might make it backwards compat. But
Like what's worse than having no backwards compatibility? Half-assed backwards compatibility.
yeah,
Yeah.
This one. Yeah, I guess that goes backwards.
they've created backwards compat for the the Dead Rising 2 Case Zero and the Case West games. Because I have those. I bought those back in the day, so I noticed that they kind of popped up as available downloads for me on the Xbox One. But
I have to say,
yeah,
Case Zero has to be one of the best pieces of of advertisement for an upcoming
like hype
game I think I've ever
material.
played.
Yeah,
I thought it was great because it was going to be bought by people that had already played Dead Rising, and it was such a wonderful little taste test. It felt like it was because people are like, oh, you're basically paying for a demo. I'm like, you're not, because it's still its own little
Yeah, it's a part of the
sub-game
story.
that's Yeah, exactly. It's like a prologue. You're buying like the prologue.
yeah, exactly.
And it's also showing you and introducing you to all the new mechanics.
I might add, at a fairly decent budget price, not fucking Hideo Kojima. Hello, it's Ground Zero's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about £4 quid.
Yeah, not too much.
Yeah, that's nothing. Okay, these are the characters. Okay, oh, you can do this with weapons. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you need Zombrex for her. Okay, cool. And it introduces to all the newer
It
mechanics.
even had its
Yeah.
own
And I like Chuck Green,
psychopaths,
so-
right?
I think it.
And I remember
might have
one
done,
guy.
actually. Yes,
Had a
it
couple,
did.
I remember one guy with like a fucking like a rotary saw or something like that.
Yes, I think that there's the guy in the junkyard
Yup.
that you fight.
So yeah, it was its own game. It was a very short, version of its own game that led into Dead Rising 2. I think it was back when Microsoft gave a shit about the franchise. Like they were holding on to it, and they should still. I think. I mean, even though Dead Rising 2, not Frank Rising 2. That's a different movie entirely. Am I right?
That's one of the parodies. if you know what
The
I mean.
parodies with an N in it. Hornities. Anyway, like the end boss of Dead Rising 2 was really annoying to fight. The guy who was, I think he was like the stadium host, the guy who liked to, he ran the show, that zombie killing show, the reality show, and fighting him.
Terror is reality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Terror is reality.
Terror is reality.
Terror is reality. Yeah.
Yeah, P Diddy. You fight P Diddy.
That was P. Diddy?
Looks like a jacked P Diddy. He looks like a jacked P Diddy.
Oh, jacked P. Diddy. Okay, yeah. But yeah, even though fighting that guy was a fucking pain in the ass, I still liked the game. I still like what they're offering. I don't know if Dead Rising 3 or 4 are any good, but 1 and 2 as like a package is a lot of fun. It should definitely be addressed. So.
Yeah, I think it lost something when it was like, and now there's an entire town to explore. Now it's starting to feel a bit like an open world game.
Yeah.
Now the zombies are meaningless because they're not going to close me into any kind of like sections of the map. I'm just going to be running free all the time, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, it was like when you go through a loading screen, like the doors, and you're like, please don't let there be loads of zombies. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I really like Dead Rising 2 as well. I know a lot of people didn't like the fact you didn't play as Frank, but I kind of, as a playable character, I preferred playing as Chuck just because he had like a good motivation, whereas Frank is more selfish in his motivation at the start of the first one, and in particular off the record he's completely selfish and amoral.
I do like the fact that Chuck is a psycho in off the record.
Yeah, that's funny. That's really
that was so good. Yeah.
I think you can unlock his psycho outfit in the re-release of Dead Rising 2 actually, but I liked the fact that he was a protagonist that I was like kind of relatable. It's like trying to save my kid, and she's a nice little girl.
Mm-hmm.
She likes Mega Man. It's nothing wrong with
yeah, she does.
I can dig that. I was like, that's good, and he's trying to clear his name as well. So he's got a few layers to him. He's a good guy. Frank's just a dick.
But next week we'll be playing with our dick. So.
The king of the Segue rides again. On a Segue.
Right.
Unless it's a spin-off where you play as Richard West.
Dick West.
It's not, it could be worse. It could be like in Dead Rising 4 when he's trying to hide from the police. I think I might have mentioned this, and he's like, my name is John East. Like, gee, how did they find you? Dickhead.
Right. So anyway, Dead Rising next week.
Well, yeah, we will all check out Dead Rising 1 and give it a bit of playtime and talk about it next week.
Yep.
Okay.
All that remains to be said is thank you one and all for listening. You can catch Chris at his channel, Kurisu10_61. That's correct.
I'm not a weeb, I promise. It's just an old name. It's an old YouTube name. Forgive me.
I got better.
Matt at his channel, Lost in the Warp Pipe.
Yes, please do, and come along and see that people are still surprisingly getting really butthurt over a video I made criticising the end of Arkham Knight, which was like 2 years ago, and people getting really like crying into their fucking Dark Knight pillows.
I'm gonna go look at that shit right now.
One of them was literally, how can you say this is like one of the best games ever made? You obviously don't know what an objective opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you're wrong. So yeah, people to this day still like really butthurt over me not liking the ending, but also failing to grasp that I disliked the ending because I had to jump through hoops to get a really crap ending. They completely missed the point. I had to do all those Riddler trophies just to get an ending that was somewhat ambiguous. Like, fuck you.
Nice.
Fuck you hard. So yeah, that's funny. Check that out because people are funny.
Tom?
Will do. Yeah, and of course you can find me at my channel Dark Gazing, where continually there is nothing happening. But eventually,
you can
someday.
literally gaze at the dark at Tom's channel.
You can wait. You should be like a progress bar. Just do a video of like one of those. You remember those irritating progress bars back in the day on the internet where it'd fill up, and then it'd go back to the start again.
Yeah.
Like, why is it even there? Why are you doing this to me? Are you here to taunt me? Do that. Just have a 10-hour video.
Shit.
Oh, I'm getting into lasagna cat territory at that point.
Right.
Do it.
And I also personally want to thank anyone listening because you could be doing anything else and you've chosen to listen to us, so I really appreciate that. Though with podcasts, you can listen to us and do something else, so there's that, I guess.
Yeah, even when you go on your psychopathic rampages, you can always listen to someone talking in your ear besides the other voices that you may hear.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Ooh, that rhymed.
So, all right.
I made it rhyme.
Well, anyways.
Anyway, easy links to all these places plus stuff we've discussed today will be available in the description below, so you have no excuse not to check them out. And until next time, stay spoiled, stay damned.
See you later.
Triangle. Ha, ha, ha.
That's a circle when it spins.
This episode of Spoilers of the Damned was hosted by Axton10_61, Madcus Finch, and Garlips. To find out about us, as well as join the discussion on our Discord, check out all the links in the description below. Please feel free to leave a review or rate us on your podcast app of choice.